Hello, everyone, and welcome here to SpeedGaming 2, and welcome to the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Weekly. It is a standard Sunday. We're going with the standard tournament flags, gearing up for the tournament starting in roughly a little over a month, I believe, here. Alongside Lavkian, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we have a heck of a race going for you here tonight. Quite a few individuals who are competing. We have 4 featured here on the channel as Madi Games, JJ Schmidt 77, Brian Williams 42, and Blue Lobster. And for those unfamiliar, the object of Dragon Warrior is for our racers to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. They'll need to collect certain key items to trade in for the Rainbow Drop, which will allow the runners to enter Charlotte Castle, the home of the Dragon Lord. They'll also need to be fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And a heck of a quest it shall be.
Absolutely, it is going to be one heck of a quest tonight. Very, very exciting race for you folks. Of course, I am Lavkian, doing some co-commentary along with my good friend Ferran Burgundy. And we do have 4 people featured tonight, but we do have 13 people total showing up for this week's weekly race. In the background, some well-known names such as Beta Strap, Brian Williams, Diabetes, DK9146, JJ Schmidt, Jay Coper, Ness Cardinality, and Smashy, just to name a few of the bigger names in our community. And of course, a few newcomers in the mix as well. EMP 1235 and BLK. I'm not really going to try to pronounce that name, but good luck to each and every one of them. We should be getting going momentarily.
Yep, just waiting on one racer, but that'll give us time to let you know what's randomized here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer. We've got the overworld map, as well as the treasure chest contents and search spot contents. The locations of the towns and caves are all over the place, as are the contents of the weapons and armor shops, I should say. The contents of the weapon and armor shop. Also, the order in which our runners learn the spells, though they're guaranteed to learn all 10 spells by level 16. The enemy locations are randomized, as are the enemy spells and abilities. And then there's that Dragon Lord that we mentioned, which in the vanilla version of Dragon Warrior has 130 hit points, but here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer has a range of 150 to 165, so that strategy comes into play as to when to make that dive into Charlotte Castle and head to that 7th basement that contains the Dragon Lord.
Absolutely. On those of us here in the community, we all know that Charlotte is considered the great equalizer. SH Mike W, that is correct. That's exactly what I was refusing to pronounce. You nailed it. But yep, gotta get that rainbow drop and make that Charlotte dive. It is the great equalizer. It does not matter when you enter Charlotte. You may or may not be the first to finish. And Kalis, he was referring to myself. I'm Lavkian on commentary tonight. Once again with my good friend Ferran Burgundy. We're going to be bringing you commentary on all the live action tonight.
At least all the action we can see. There is, of course, the the other racers. It'd be a lot to have 13 racers on the screen at the same time.
Just a bit, just a bit. Kalis. I'm sorry, I did see you say how to pronounce your name, but I thought I had read that as Kalis, but Kalis, I see that now. My apologies.
And I just tend to err on the side of caution and just acknowledge somebody in the chat as a safeguard.
Indeed. An XP graph in the corner run by our own Asmati Games, who loves doing that kind of experience tracking when they're not racing. Yeah, tonight's flags, the Sunday weeklies are always going to be standard flags. So we do have that randomized map and randomized enemy zones, but the enemy HP and strength and things of that nature are going to be the same as in the standard Dragon Warrior randomizer fare. No chaos flags tonight, no randomized experience or gold, just good old standard tournament flags. We will have full Sharlock. We will need that rainbow drop, and we will be looking for such things as Airdrick's Sword and Airdrick's Armor in order to complete our quest.
Absolutely, and we'll keep you on track as far as the experience needed for each level as it goes along here, as I do have a chart. Hopefully it doesn't go beyond level 17 or 18 or even 19, because then it gets a little dicey, and it just tends to be a longer, more arduous seed in those instances.
Absolutely. It's been a while since I've seen one that had to go to 18 or 19, but you never know. You never know what the randomizer gods will bestow on us. All we do know is that if we do go late into the evening, I will go ahead and take the blame. You can blame yours truly. I did, in fact, roll a seed. Brian Williams asked someone to do the honors. I waited for a moment and said, all right, fine, I'll throw myself on the pyre this time.
Had I gotten in the room in time, then I probably would have hopped on that proverbial grenade, but... let's see here. So we are waiting on one different competitor who had unreadied, and we're trying to see if there was an IRL type issue, which appears to be discussed here.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't get ambushed by slimes before we were able to get started.
Well, that runner is still showing as live. Oh, one of the runners is asking Lavkin and I to give a brief history of Alfgard while we wait, starting from Dragon Quest III. I don't think we have that kind of time.
I mean, the hero from Eliahan fell down a hole and landed in Alfgard, and then he did some things, and now Dragon Warrior won.
And then Dragon Warrior 2 happened after that, and we try not to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Legendaries of the Luminary line, indeed. Remakes of Dragon Warrior 2 are not that bad. I would say the Super Famicom and Game Boy Color versions of Dragon Warrior 2 are decent. They're challenging, but decent. But the NES version, whew, you're gonna need a lot of patience to finish that game. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the Dragon Warrior 1 manual had some of the original Japanese art. I like the the spell animations there, you have the hero casting the heal spell and some bandages pop off, and when he casts the heal more spell, he throws an entire cast of his crutches away. It's pretty great.
So the one runner had ye old well-timed family hijack and has readied up, and the countdown is set, and our Sunday weekly will be underway in a matter of seconds.
Absolutely wonderful that we were able to get Smashy back for this one, so we do have our full complement of 13 runners.
So the king will be giving the instructions. There will be 3 treasure chests in the throne room to start off the quest. One is guaranteed to have a magic key, which allows you to use on the door to get out of the room, because reasons. And then the other 2 could have a litany of different things. Anything from fairy water to repel enemies. It could have a cursed belt, which, well, is cursed. It could have one of our quest items. It could have one of the Erdrick items, whether it be the Erdrick sword, the best weapon in the game. It could be Erdrick's armor, the best armor in the game. But we'll find out in a matter of seconds here. It looks like we're starting off with a long-winded king. Here we go. We're starting off with a cursed belt and some gold.
And quickly, we do see a minor divergence here. We'll have to see whether or not it makes a big difference, because when you pick up that gold chest in the beginning of the game, you really want to hit 560 or better so you can potentially get yourself a hand axe if we see a town nearby. Brian Williams is the only one who didn't get quite that amount of money, but looking like nothing doing, at least from what we've seen from Asmati Games, who I think was the furthest to go west.
And ran into a werewolf who immediately smacked him up, and well, there goes half of that gold. And JJ Schmidt following the same fate. Brian Williams finds a cave over here to the west and runs into a Magi Wyvern. Back attack, bye-bye.
Oh dear, that is unfortunate. Did make good use of that sleep spell. I saw that they started with a handful of spells here. That sleep spell is going to come in big handy because slimes have hurts. Oh boy.
Oh golly. And the attack must be very low. I didn't see it at the very beginning, but they're swinging and missing at slimes, so they must have potentially a 4 or 5 attack power start here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I had just missed it, but yeah, if you're missing on slimes, it's got to be either 4 or 5. So it's a little bit unfortunate. Fortunately, there are those slimes there, and because we do have that sleep spell is so important in the early game when you can get it, because it does allow you to potentially get those free swings on enemies you might not otherwise be able to defeat. And now it's just going to be a race to see who can get level 2 first, and how helpful will it be.
Well, I just took a look at the replay here, and it looks like 4 strength, 5 defense to start. Yeah,
Speaking
4 strength,
of
11 agility.
Asmati Games gets the first Kaishin no Ichigeki for a massive 4 damage. But enough to kill a slime.
So now we're going 1 point at a time here. It's a race to 5 experience to get to level 2.
This may be the most intense pair of slime fights I've ever seen. JJ Schmidt the first to get there. Brian Williams right behind him.
Well, 7 power, that's going to kind of get you out of the proverbial jail here to start, at least for a little bit of a degree. The 1 agility and 2 hit points,
Yeah, that's 7 power. I want to say they've seen magicians here in this zone. Yeah, we see Brian fighting one right now. He's gonna need some MP here, maybe a little bit of luck, but he can swing for up to 2 damage here against this magician. If he can get some decent rolls coming out of the magician, might be able to do this, but might need to get that refresh and that MP back. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, averaging 1 to 2 hit points. Well, he does get it, And that's going to be level 13, or yeah, no, it's level 13 wishful thinking. 13 experience, 4 away from level 3.
Righty, so now just remains to be seen whether or not he can take out enough slimes to get the job done. Osmati Game's gonna go for this Magidraki. I think it's a miss or one damage chance here. Maybe can get that consistent 1 damage. If he can keep it asleep, this would be the level right here.
Magidraki is also 1 to 2.
Alrighty, heads up play here from Osmati Games. I wouldn't have taken on a Magidraki myself, but this thing is just taking a dirt nap right now.
Finally wakes up, but another bit of sleep, and away we go. And that's going to be another level right there. So Asmati will get level 3. We've got 8 power, 3 speed, 1 hit point. Still no magic points.
Yeah, other than the...
Looks a little better.
Other than the 15 power, I haven't really gotten much so far, but power is definitely the thing you want to see early on, because now those Magidrakis that I thought were questionable before are going to be a piece of cake. We could even start looking for some slightly bigger targets. Maybe some Scorpions or Druins could be in the mix here. But right now, Asmati Games just combing that desert.
Well, hoping to find Magidrakis, as it looks like that's going to be the best enemy available for them. I mean, a Scorpion is in the mix, but it may not have necessarily rolled in this Zone 0, the 15 by 15 grid that contains Tanagal Castle.
Yeah, that 15 by 15 grid can contain anything from slime on up to a Scorpion. The only enemies we haven't seen thus far would be the red slime, Drakey, and of course the Scorpion itself. And of course, enemies can be duplicated within a zone. There are up to 5 slots, but no guarantee that we see 5 different enemies. Now Asmati Games gonna go ahead and grab themselves level 4, 6406. Finally a little bit more MP, but these levels still a little bit in the meth area.
Well, it looks like Tanagal Castle is on the western edge of that Zone 0, as it was only a step or 2 west of Tanagal Castle that Asmati found that metal Scorpion, which is part of the Zones 1 and 2, the 15 by 15 grids immediately to the north, south, east, and west of Zone 0.
Absolutely, and we saw Magiwyverns not too far from there as well. So yeah, not too far away from the point where things really start to get nasty.
Well, and we see here Blue Lobster working on a wolf, and a wolf has stop spell. So this is it's a bold strategy, but if it works, this will get Lobster level 5.
Yeah, this is quite ambitious, but now sitting on 25 power, is able to do up to 4 damage. I don't know how far he is right now. Getting those consistent 4s should be able to do it as long as the wolf stays asleep.
I think it's a 2 to 5 range, but that nice crit, that excellent move, that Kaisha no Ichigeki, that will get level 5. Let's see what we have here. Another 7, 9 speed, 5 hit points, 5 magic points. Those early spells, they seem to be what's needed here.
Absolutely. This sleep spell is paying dividends here. Blue Lobster making the heads-up play. And getting a taste of that zone west of Zone 1 here, we have seen Magiwyverns, and now we have seen the Wizard is going to send JJ Schmidt back real quick here, and Asmati Games now ding level 5 himself, catching up to Blue Lobster for that level. And Lorgon in chat noting towards 115 south would be south edge of the map in case of count later. So we could potentially be looking at some reverse count shenanigans later, if indeed we do have some coordinates. When you know where Tantagel is, relative to one of the edges of the map as a whole, you can start your count from there if you do have triple-digit coordinates. But we are a long ways from there yet. We do need to find Cantlin, of course, first, and we need to find ourselves some keys. So far, all we've seen is a grumpy old man, who we affectionately call the jerk, because if you go talk to him without Erdrick's token, he will say, "Thou hast failed in thy quest, be gone," and he will boot you right out of his cave.
Well, Brian Williams, a good job recognizing that the Magiwyvern is susceptible to the sleep spell, but is very low on resources and is just trying to explore as much of the land as possible before taking a death, and might possibly be back here in one of the lighter... Well, was, and then there's a stone man.
Tantagel is the name of the starting castle, so that's what we will be referencing as kind of the starting point. So every time one of the characters dies, they go right back to Tantagel Castle to start their excursions over from that point.
And they're revived at the cost of half of their gold.
Alrighty, well, Blue Lobster getting comfy here in Zone 1. Brian Williams doing the same thing, taking on these Drolls, averaging somewhere around, I want to say, 4 to 7 damage there. Should be able to take that out pretty comfortably, and it looks like Blue Lobster's building himself a pretty comfortable experience lead here. I would say needs about 2 more enemies to give himself level 6.
Yes, 165 the target number for level 6 with their 32 strength at the moment. Droll, that's about 5 to 10 on the damage range.
And now knowing that one of the easily dispatched magicians or magidrakes could get him that level, will head back to this desert and does indeed find that magician that he wants. We'll be taking that out shortly to get level 6. We're just cruising right along here at the beginning of the scene.
Well, there's 1 power, 0 agility, 3 speed now, or 3 hit points rather, and 11 magic points. So now the pendulum's starting to swing the other way, but still no spells really to take advantage of that additional MP other than more castings of that sleep spell.
Absolutely, as Monty Game's so close to level 6, but unfortunately this Star Wyver's not going to do it. However, they do have hurts. That could be useful information later if they were to get Stop Spell themselves.
Well, yeah, you definitely want Stop Spell to take those on, as the combination of hurt and sleep is what's problematic, because when they don't cast hurt, they have punch more, as they just hit you hard.
Absolutely, right now with no armor to speak of and fairly low agility for this point in the game, that punch more is going to be super effective. And even the Gold Man showing his fists to Brian Williams, sending him right back to Tantagel.
And now is Mata getting the not-so-good news of level 6. JJ a little bit behind, but only a little bit.
And unfortunately, that Metal Scorpion dealing 13 damage points. Even the Metal Scorpion here is enough to start taking people out, and Drolls have regular Dragon Breath. That is a little unfortunate.
Haven't really seen too much of that because most of the Drolls have been taking a nap, courtesy of our racers here. And that sleep spell.
Absolutely, and not even a chance to use the sleep spell on the Metal Scorpion as a follow-up there is going to get taken out. Meanwhile, Brian Williams showcasing the usefulness of that sleep spell when you're not back attacked at the very start. And all our runners so far are just pretty content to stay here in this comfy Zone 1 and try to pick up yet another level for themselves. 336, I believe, is the target they're looking for now.
337, but give or take a point. Oh, and wolves have hurt more. We hadn't seen that previously.
That is exceedingly unfortunate, as I do believe for each of our runners now, even a minimum hurt more roll would be guaranteed to kill them. So getting a little bit lucky early on there to be able to take out that wolf with that sleep spell. And may want to think twice before taking on another one of those, as Osmati Games now trying to make that desperation exploration play.
Well, and there's something to be said for it. I understand being hesitant on going droll by droll, 18 experience at a time, to go from roughly 200 to 337. In Osmati's case, maybe about 110. That's quite a bit. So there is that desire to explore out and venture, but you have no heal spells. You have no herbs to heal. You're just kind of relying on RNG. And, well, that exploration has brought us to a couple of caves, and Asmati Debating is going to head to the eastern cave, and it's the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave. This time around, it has some gold.
Alrighty, well, that's our second gold chest sighting of the seed so far, so it could do a little bit of a slow gold grind there if indeed we do find some kind of town. Cannot make it to that other cave again. Those swamp tiles dealing 2 damage per step and with no healing spells to speak of. Does not actually have enough HP to see what that cave is. We'll have to wait for later.
And maybe later will be the next venture out, as the knight says none shall pass. Yeah, this has been a very paradoxical seed, in a sense, in that it feels like we're moving rather quickly through the levels, but on the same token, it feels like a slog.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a grindy one here at the start. I think up to NG would be a fan of this seed, and right now I saw Brian Williams was about a Metal Scorpion and change away from the level. Gonna go ahead and take out this Magidraki, and then just about anything will get him there over the hump. So it's a race between Blue Lobster and Brian Williams for that level 7. Osmati Games really just trying to make that hero play, trying to find a town, trying to find anything that can give him an advantage. So now seeing a divergence in strategy.
A slog is not a term in the game. That's just me utilizing my vocabulary. The definition would be a spell of difficult, tiring work or traveling.
Well, thy difficulty hath served thee well. Brian Williams is going to hit level 7, 4 power, 5 speed, 1 hit point, and 7 magic. Just a little bit more math. So now, as Blue Lobster catches up here to level 7, we're really going to be kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, as again, the stats aren't that great. You've got no healing resources to speak of. And the seed is saying, good luck, buddy. You got to go find a town. At this point, I feel like that's what they got to do.
Yeah, the next target number for level 8 is 600 experience.
Now, they do have access to those metal scorpions out there, but even then, you're looking at least 10 to get that next level. We do have these skeletons here, but unfortunately, that's in a zone with some other nasty monsters. It's not really a reliable place to grind. So, yeah, really going to be needing to head out on the map and see if they can't find something useful. But we've already seen 3 different Charlock monsters out there. This is a pretty nasty one.
Yep, even just getting away from the starting castle, you've seen werewolves, you've seen star wyverns, you've seen wizards out in that direction. And now we've got a green dragon on Brian Williams' side. That's a 4th endgame enemy.
Sprinkle in some werewolves, you've got yourself a Charlock party pack.
And it isn't even downloadable content. Who knew?
Season Pass came for free with this one. Yeah, Mike noting in chat that, Osmati has found 4 caves, no towns. I want to say I missed that cave that was just south of Start, but we do know there's that one in the swamp that Osmati was unable to identify before. So we'll have to go back and check that out eventually. Brian Williams now contending and taking out a wolf, so we do know that they have the Hurtmore spell. Not sure if Brian knows that, but was able to take it out with that sleep spell. Again, still paying dividends.
Ah, well, wolves, okay, along with Hurtmore, they also have stop spell, so you want to hope to be able to put the wolf to sleep, and well, it looks like was able to be 3-shot there with the high rolls.
Yeah, the strength came in hot and heavy at the start, and then sort of trickled in on the latter half of the levels that we've seen so far, but yeah, still enough to allow you to punch out these wolves and metal scorpions. So, looks like Brian is going to take the choice to go to level 8. This could take a while, but it's a tough choice as to whether or not you want to try to get the level or go out on the map, and perhaps Brian's just splitting the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a conundrum as well. Brian just finding out about the Hurtmore there. Something tells me he might adjust the strategy going forward on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if JJ Schmidt has gotten the bad news or not, has seen the stop spell, has managed to dodge it. We'll take this wolf out. Now, Brian Williams getting back attacked by a wolf. Stop spell has no choice but to run away with that sleep spell disabled. Oh, getting back attacked again. Oh, dear.
Wow, this is just unfortunate on Brian Williams' side. But now he's out of that mid zone and is going to try to make a break for it. Figures, how much fighting am I going to do with 6 HP? And is just going to try to venture out. Will be less than thrilled if he's able to get down to where those 2 caves are in the swamp.
Yeah, he's going to be able to see them, but not be able to check either of them. Again, because of those damage tiles, he'll be able to say, okay, well, he's not going to see the other cave yet. He's not even going to bother going down there just yet. We'll have to go back there later, though. So I think he's going to make his way towards the direction of what I think chat confirmed was Swamp North. We'll have to see whether or not he finds a town in the meantime, as we still have not seen one. Yeah, this seat's been exceptionally mean so far, and Brian Williams was actually coming up, I think, to the edge of where he could explore with the HP he had. There was Swamp there on his screen, but the Wraith was more than happy to oblige a free trip back to Tantagel Castle with that Hurtmore spell. So that's 2 early mid-tier enemies we've seen with that Hurtmore. Really unfortunate. Could have potentially taken out that Wraith for another 40 or so experience, but no such luck there. Will now contend with this Metal Scorpion to pick up a little more experience on his way back out to explore. Blue Lobster, on the other hand, just seems very content to slowly work his way towards level 8. And I wanted to say he was in the experience lead, but JJ Schmidt right there, just about a wolf ahead of him. We are going to get confirmation as to what this other cave was. It is Mountain Cave. This could be huge.
Well, a poltergeist, not a terrible enemy to find in here.
Question in chat, could level 16 technically contain the rest of the spells? Yes. 16 is the level at which you are guaranteed to learn any spell that you don't already know. I hope that's not the case, because without Heal or Heal More, it's going to take quite a while to get the interim levels, but yes, technically possible.
If it gets to that point, then we're going to put this seed into the Hall of Shame here, as we have gold in the first chest in the mountain cave. There are 5 treasure chests in the mountain cave, all of which are accessible. 1 on the first floor and 4 on the second floor. Here's the second chest, and it is the Fairy Flute. We'll get more into that in a moment. We've got a set of wings that works just like the return spell, takes you back to the starting castle. An herb that'll heal some hit points. Yeah, the Fairy Flute only works on one particular enemy, that is the Golem, and that puts the Golem to sleep. And as a precaution, Asmati is going to use the herb here. Oh no, there's a Star Wyvern, but he gets away, and we'll make it to that final chest, and it is a Fairy Water, which works like the Repel spell. So the Fairy Flute might be helpful near the end game in Sherlock, but otherwise a whole lot of nothing.
There are Spectres down here, though. Spectre's a pretty darn good mid-tier enemy if you can take it out. Doing decent damage here. Could pick himself up a real quick 53 experience. Would be real nice. Ryan Williams, meanwhile, digging level 8, 65014. So again, those stats trickling in just a little bit, but still no additional spells to speak of.
Well, and there's the Star Wyvern to send the Death Warp, but yeah, no keys, no major things of note. Sure, there was some gold down there, but we haven't found anywhere to spend it yet. So now, our runner's still trying to find something along the way here, as the levels, yeah, they're trickling in, but not giving anything major of substance. The target number for level 9, 975 experience.
Yeah, they could still keep plowing their way through these metal scorpions and these wolves, and it looks like, you know, Brian Williams is still going to stick to that same strategy. Going to try to get, really just splitting the difference between getting some exploration done, picking up a little bit of experience, just doing this loop, really hoping to be the first person to find one of those towns. Blue Lobster trying to do the same thing here. Man, this is a tough one. You've got one direction that you can go. That direction takes you through 5 different Sherlock monsters. And you gotta walk through mountains and desert tiles to do it.
Yeah, this has been rather trolly, and oh, there's a Wraith Knight taking out Blue Lobster.
AJ's spell got blocked, but was still able to take out that wolf. Did get the relative fortune of not getting hurt more blasted back to Tantagel Castle, and so is now maintaining a very experience advantage. Could boost that up to about 100 or so here if he can take out this wolf. be that much closer to level 9. At which point I'm sure he is just begging and praying and hoping for any spell on top of the ones we've learned so far.
Chat noting, this is one of the seeds that's the reason that I'm more of a commentator than a runner of the randomizer. You're spot on. I can't imagine the things that I would be saying if I had to race this. But they wouldn't be good. Or things that we can say here on SpeedGaming too. So it looks like Blue Lobster and JJ Schmidt are dedicating themselves to grinding up to level 9. They don't want to venture too far out without some semblance of a heal spell, or maybe the development of Hurt More, so that way they can take care of a lot of enemies.
Yeah, heal more, or hurt more. Any one of those spells would be a perfect pickup right now. We've seen some pretty decent hurt moreable monsters out there, werewolves, green dragons, and star wyverns among them. The seed could turn on its head really, really quickly if that spell were to be picked up, but again, remains to be seen.
Sorry, I needed a moment there as I was dealing with an IRL canine conundrum here. But thankfully, in the interim, it's just been a lot more level gaining and a little semblance of exploration as Blue Lobster now getting into the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, and we'll get some money, which is not exactly what was being sought out at this given time.
Unfortunately not, and the droll taunting JJ Schmidt here has that heal spell. It says, look what I have that you don't have. But should be able to get taken out here, was put back to sleep. And now, pretty much just a droll or anything else away from level 9. So as long as this one stays asleep, we'll be seeing him taking that level advantage. And hopefully getting something that's going to get him out here on the map to boot.
Well, let's see what level 9 brings here for JJ Schmidt. 2 power, 5 speed, 7 hit points, and a spell of return. They've been returning to the castle plenty, game.
Yeah, they didn't exactly need magic to help with that one. Oh dear. 1,500 is now the target to reach for level 10. So a little bit bigger of a gap than the previous.
Yeah, I think on my channel the curb sounder be playing right now.
Very nice, very nice. I was gonna go for the rubber band sounder, but that's a good one too.
Yeah, that one's a good one also, but that requires a lot more audio skill than even I have. That's why only Mel Blanc can do that.
Maybe a little chutzpah to boot.
A little of that too. And our tracker, Cammy and Remikai, noting at least our knight hasn't been druined yet.
We'll be here all week, folks.
With the way this seed's going, I hope we're not here all week.
Well, Furon, be careful what you wish for. We might be here longer than that. We did strap in, folks. Strap in. This is not one of the worst starts I've ever seen, but in terms of potential, it's pretty bad. I mean, we've all seen seeds where someone wasn't even level 2 at 35 minutes, but for a start where you're, level 8 or 9, or, some runners out there might be level 10 if they've seen a metal slime. Oh boy, you're really feeling the strapping your seatbelts and check the signs. No smoking signs have been turned on. Be careful, it's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Should the tray tables be in the upright position?
Absolutely. And make sure they're locked.
Thank you for flying Air Alifgard.
So Brian Williams and JJ Smith, they just keep quietly racking up that experience, while also trying to make some headway on the map here, basically tied. And having a bit of a lead over Blue Lobster, a considerable lead over Asmati Games, who is really more dedicated himself to the exploration than anything else. And a little bit of misfortune here as JJ Schmidt finally finding those 2 caves. Does pick up that gold, knows that he's in Mountain Cave, probably really hoping for the sword or a key or the armor or anything useful. And unfortunately...
Now JJ looks to be doing the exploration of the mountain cave and doing it in the dark. Certainly a preferred method of some of our runners here. But before getting to that last chest, which we know is a fairy water, JJ runs into a green dragon, which I don't believe was seen at all by Asmati Games during the venture down there, and well, runs into a stone man in that regard. Yeah, good. Thank goodness we don't have a death count going on here.
Yeah, if we had a death count across all our runners, I'm pretty sure it'd be north of 100 already. So, oof. But now, 1,500 isn't looking that far away. If JJ can take out this wolf, he and Brian Williams will both be within about 400, actually 300 of that level for Brian Williams. So going to get there eventually, hoping to find a town or really just anything of value before then, but Again, so far, it's been rather slow going. "40 minutes into the seed, and we've seen probably about, I want to say, 3 screens west and maybe 2 screens south of start. Haven't really been able to make our way back east. We do know we're pretty close to that western edge of the world map. But all these Sharlock monsters just giving our runners the business anytime that they try to move away from start.
And don't look now, but Brian has gotten the experience lead, I guess, while JJ was exploring the mountain cave, and now is probably about halfway to level 10. 1500, that target number is at 1268, but a Star Wyvern stifles his progress.
Yeah, really unfortunate. It's hard to say whether or not one of those swamp tiles was going to kind of lead off into another path there. Brian probably really hoping to get a good look. But Star Wyvern says no. You'll have to try again. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 gold pieces. And now just content to grind. You get a fun police badge, and you get a fun police badge, and you get a fun police badge. Everyone's been deputized in this seed. Up to NG in the chat, noting that these are some empty trackers for 40 minutes. Yes, indeed. 41 minutes in, we have not seen a town. We have no healing magic to speak of. We've learned 1 spell since level 1. The power is okay, but yeah, this
45
is
strength at level 9, I believe.
Been a bit of a tough one. Lord God. Well said, well said.
Yeah, wolves have had stop spell and hurt more. That's been a little challenging. And yeah, with no ability to heal, it's just been either explore, die, repeat, or grind, die, repeat, or some combination therein.
Yeah, I want to say around level 7 or 8, we did see each of our runners really put as best of an effort as they could into making some kind of exploration on the map. But again, so many Sharlock monsters out there that with the low, no healing spells, lowish HP, lowish agility, it's just really, really hard to get any exploration going, and there's quite a bit of swamp out there to boot. So we have had some situations where our runners were able to get a few screens away from start, only to be stifled by those damage tiles.
But yeah, it's just been employing different techniques. As Madi has been more on the exploration game. And, well, I guess as Madi figured, all right, I don't have much here, and yeah.
Now, I noticed that Blue Lobster was walking back and forth. Yeah, up to NG caught this too. He's walking back and forth in his zone. I hadn't seen anyone else grind in. He found his zone with metal slimes. Now, unfortunately, the one that he just saw actually took him out with a regular physical attack for 2 damage. Because he was already low on HP, but he must have seen a metal slime there before and was walking back and forth hoping to see another one. That could be huge. If he could take out a couple of those, would get himself that real quick level 10 there. Potentially not before Brian Williams, who is right there on the cusp of level 10 himself.
Yep, just 167 away for JJ Schmidt, and I believe less than 50 for Brian here. Yes, 31. So this Metal Scorpion, if Brian can stay alive, should get him level 10, 1500 right on the number. And he does. $12, $5, $8, 0, and a new spell, and it's Hurt More. Thank goodness.
Alrighty, now we can get out on the map and seek revenge on, well, some of the Sherlock monsters. Hurt More not particularly effective against wizards. But those werewolves, green dragons, and star wyverns who've been heckling us all seed, well, they are about to get their just desserts.
Yep, TGIH. Thank goodness it's Hurt More. So once Blue Lobster gets to that zone that you were talking about, I did see there were some Axe Knights in that zone with those metal slimes.
Yeah, Axe Knights are the preferred target for that Hurt More spell if you have access to it. Real quick and easy, 135 experience. As long as you win the coin flip and do get that one Hurt More kill. And unfortunately, Brian Williams, now all he's seeing are wizards. Has that Hurt More spell, itching to use it. Got a bunch of MP in his pocket, but only seeing the one enemy that the Hurt More spell isn't particularly effective against. And looking at our other runners now, JJ Schmidt, right on the cusp of getting that good news himself. About 2 drolls away from level 10.
It's still level 10, no healing to be found, no towns to be found anywhere yet, and we are beyond the 45-minute mark of this seed.
Now we see Brian Williams employing that Hurt More spell to great effect here, has found the zone that he wants to sit in, is going to take himself out a couple of green dragons here, should be able to get this Star Wyvern no problem, and he is going to be level 11 here very shortly. 2050, I believe, is what he's looking for. Thank you, Kami and Renekai. 2175. So this green dragon won't be quite enough. But pretty much anything else in the zone will get one more level. The Spectre will be more than enough.
Yep, Spectre will definitely do it. And to an even 2200, although 2175 is the target number for 11. Let's take a look here. We have 5, 16, 17, 46 MP and heal more. Holy smokes.
Wow, level 11 was loaded. That was something, what, like 80 points if you add all that whole level up together? My goodness.
Williams being a little selective here, knowing that there's just the one hurt more left, and decides to use it on the green dragon for 135. And now Brian is going to use the heal and is going to navigate the mountain cave in the dark.
Brian Williams and Blue Lobster now going to get the relatively unfortunate news that Mountain Cave just does not have anything of use. Well, no, Brian Williams is going to get sent back to start first, so we'll have to make a second trip over to that Mountain Cave.
So the good news, we have heal and hurt more, or heal more and hurt more by level 11. Just got to get there for levels 10 and 11 respectively. The not so good news, we're almost 50 minutes in. We have not found a town. We have not found keys. So to say that this seed has been rather handcuffing is a bit of an understatement.
Now we do see the advantage of that Hurt More spell as Brian Williams has exploded his experience speed. Once he takes out this green dragon, he will have double or better the experience of two of our other runners here. JJ Schmidt not too terribly far behind, but did not take that same strategy as Brian Williams did of just going out and getting that level 11 right away. Now already within 500 experience of level 12.
Oh yes, and I do see we have a raid here from SpeedGaming Español. Hola y bienvenidas espectadoras de SpeedGaming Español. Me llamo Ferran Burgundy. I'm going with what little bit of Spanish I remember.
Well done, well done.
Junto con mi compañera de transmisión, Lavkian.
Encantado, encantado.
Or compañero, perdón. In between my knowledge of Spanish, I learned a little bit of German, so I'm all over the place.
Solamente ein bisschen
español,
español.
Deutsch y Inglés. It's a lot. But hey, I think I did better than most. But let me go back to where my expertise is here. This is Dragon Warrior Randomizer, also known as Dragon Quest Randomizer. And we have a 13-person race, 4 people featured here on SpeedGaming 2, as Madi Games, JJ Schmidt 77, Brian Williams 42, and Blue Lobster.
Level 12 coming in here, I want to say I saw 6234. So pretty underwhelming compared to the last few levels we've got, but still that power keeps trickling in. And that is the one thing that you really do like to see, as we do have, we want to get somewhere in the realm of 90 to 100 power before taking out that Dragon Lord, so every little bit helps.
Yeah, we've had no weapons of which to speak because, oh yeah, we have seen no towns.
I mean, even Hawksness would be welcome at this point, as long as there's an Axe Knight or an Armored Knight there that one of our runners can take out. Hawksness with Fun Police, on the other hand. Oh boy.
I mean, that is what we are wondering. Where are the towns? ¿Dónde están los pueblos?
Well, JJ Schmidt knows donde están los pueblos, as he has found the most potentially important of each of them. He has found Rimeldar. There was a cave nearby, but the most important thing is he has access to keys now. Has plenty of money for a full complement of keys. We'll be able to go ahead and check that key locked chest over there by the inn. And then for this cave here, I believe we are down to Tablet, Grave, and I want to say the Heart Cave are the only options. So if it's the Grave, we could see a potential dive here in the near future.
And the old 1 for 2 key. How underwhelming. Oh, but the swamp cave goes to the back of Garanham.
Okay, that's pretty big, as now he's going to get access to those 3 chests that normally he would need a key to get. And if I'm not mistaken, JJ Schmidt checking the weapon shop here just saw all 3 of our big ticket items: Flame Sword, Magic Armor, and Silver Shields. I'm not sure if I caught that Silver Shield or not. Pretty sure I saw the other 2. I'm sure chat will fill in.
Meanwhile, in the back of Garanham, well, we had the Fairy Water, Erdrick's Token, one of the essential items for the end of the game, and a set of wings. And right next to Garanham, oh look, it's Breckenary.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay. And Blue Lobster purchases a bamboo pole, I believe, for an additional 2 attack power.
JJ Schmidt, meanwhile, is making his way through Tablet Cave, but I missed what it was in that chest there. I want to say it might have been an herb.
I'll go back to the replay.
Tammy and Renikai noting it's the second cursed belt of the seed, which cursed belts beyond cursing you if you put them on, as the name would imply, and selling for 180 gold, do give a little bit of information to our runners, as for those unfamiliar with the ins and outs of Randomizer or Dragon Warrior 1 in general, there are 3 search spots that are not treasure chests. There's one here in Hawk's Nest, of JJ Schmidt's here now. Gonna have to fight a little mini-boss to get access to that search spot. There's one in the town of Cole, and one potentially out on the map. Now, each of those cursed belts we find tells us that one of those search spots is populated, so having seen 2 of them now, pretty good chance that this stone man JJ Schmidt is contending with is going to guard something. Gonna have to fire off a few Hurtmore spells to figure out what it is, though.
Blue Lobster had a little bit of desperation there, trying to sleep and take out the knight. Didn't exactly work out. And we have the stone man that's guarding the silver harp, so Hawksness required.
Alrighty, so we do have the harp found, and the token, of course, in the back of Garanham, so we will need to go through that swamp cave at some point, as Osmarty Games has already done. And now Brian Williams getting himself keys, and no rush yet to head back to Tantagel to see what might be in the treasury or the basement. But I'm sure the next time one of them gets sent back, they'll be going and checking that out.
Most definitely.
Heads up observation here from up 2NG. If there's a gold grind, JJ could set it up with the swamp cave. That is absolutely correct. So for those unfamiliar with our gold grind glitch, Dragon Warrior 1 has a little bit of a memory bug, where whenever you open a chest, it gets stored in memory. That memory can store up to 8 chests maximum, and only gets reset when you go out on the world map. So the strategy here would be to grab the 3 chests in Garanham, go into that swamp cave, get killed by a monster, Once you go back to Tantagel, you'll get 3 more chests added, the ones from the start added to that memory, and then you go into the treasury, 4 chests there, and if one of them is gold, you can print all the money you could want. Meanwhile, JJ Schmidt finding coal. What was in the search spot? Didn't quite catch that.
That was the Stones of Sunlight. Oh wait, I thought you said in the search. Wait, the search spot of coal, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it was the Stones of Sunlight.
So that means we have seen all 3 of our required quest items. Blue Lobster still holding on to that token. JJ Schmidt just missing the token. And now needing to find that Staff of Rain Cave to trade in that heart. And we haven't seen Sharlock yet, but we'll be able to get in there momentarily.
So if I've been keeping track of everything right, that means that the back of Tantagel could either be the Staff Trading Cave or the Grave of Garen.
That tracks with my mental notes here. So if JJ Schmidt can find another cave here somewhere, we could knock that down to just one option, but runs into a dead end. So we'll have to turn around and head in a different direction. One thing we haven't seen checked yet is the swamp spike tile. Sometimes we have racers who favor checking that spot early and trying to go ahead and do a preemptive princess rescue, but so far, none of our racers have opted to do that just yet.
Blue Lobster there had a nice crit on a metal slime. And, well, I mentioned this Axonite area being potentially helpful, as JJ just a couple of steps away from another cave here. And there's a death, so I wonder if this is where Blue Lobster's going to grind before exploring, now that Hurtmore is in tow.
Alrighty, well, immediately upon entering this cave, we do see monsters, so we are here in the grave, so that does put that Staff of Rain Cave in Tantagel basements.
Yep, the Radiant on JJ's side confirms it. So we know our runners will have to go back to Tantagel at some point to get to the back. They'll need keys to do so.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, between, if JJ Smith does a full clear of this cave before going back to Tantagel, we're going to pretty much have seen every single treasure chest that there is to offer. Well, with the one exception being Cantlin could have coordinates for a search spot, but aside from that, we'll know everything there is to know.
Well, the upper 3 chests of the grave having a pair of herbs and some gold.
Yeah, we went something like 50 minutes without a town, and 10 minutes later we've pretty much found them all in short order here.
So JJ's going to do the deep dive. Meanwhile, Asmati has at least seen Sharlock, hasn't quite found the way to get there yet.
Yeah, up to in a lot of other situations I would find that a little bit surprising too, but I also do like this play of just trying to stay out on the map as long as they can. JJ gets away from our first sighting of police. Is probably shocked beyond belief. Took a little bit of a pause there before finally healing back up. Oh boy.
Well, JJ is going to take the fight here to this green dragon, and well, just has enough natural power to be able to take it out. The resources, though, are starting to dip here a little bit, but this might also be setting up, as you mentioned earlier, that potential gold grind, although there's gold in the fourth chest.
If I'm not mistaken, there are a total of 5 gold chests in Randomizer, and of those we've seen 3, and I completely missed what was in that treasury. We do see Brian Williams rating it now.
Well, going back to the replay here, we have a torch, we have a cursed belt. There's Erdrick's armor. And gold.
Alrighty, so no worst of the worst this seed. We know the armor is not in Sharlock. Good news for our runners here. However, the sword still could be, but we do know with that curse belt number 3 that there is going to be coordinates. And I do believe that those coordinates can only lead to one of 2 things. Either the sword or the death necklace.
Correct. Oh, no. Oh, JJ, no. Oh, and he gets away! And gets a magic key.
Oh my goodness, what is this? What is this time?
But then there's a back attack from a magician. I do not understand the agility of this game.
Yeah, I don't know. No words.
Looks like we're going to have a check here on Brian Williams' side of that spike tile in the swamp cave. Oh. Well, it's a red dragon.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with the HP being what it is, it's going to be a little bit tough to take this out. I want to say he can still hit for north of 40. But as long as he keeps swinging in those mid-20s, should be able to do it. That sword that he's got there, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a long fight.
Well, and now JJ has the gold grind going.
Yeah, and JJ's got some important information there in his back pocket. Does know where Rimmeldar is with those big-ticket items. Speaking of big-ticket items, Mall of America here found for Asmati Games. But no keys.
That is disheartening. Okay, JJ did check the other chests. I do see that Erdrick's armor is equipped on him. So, is he going to go, what, 24,600, I guess? 24,600 to get the 9,800 flame sword and the 14,800 silver shield?
I do believe that's the target. Yep, that is the exact target we're looking for, and he's going to go save the game and make a beeline for Rimmeldar.
Oh, and there's a red dragon on Brian Williams' side, and he is not having JJ's run luck. Ooh, JJ, forgetting that he didn't have any herbs, almost moved down one to the keys and put on a cursed belt. I know that feeling.
Yeah, that was a very bold move. I was not thinking about the fact that he didn't have outside and would have to go through that red dragon again, but was able to go ahead and run away from that, and will now turn in his princess for that Gwaelin's love. Once he finds Caitlin, should be a trivial matter of cleaning up the rest of the seed, and now just has to find Charlock, as I believe Blue Lobster is the only person, or either Blue Lobster or Mighty Games, the only person so far to have seen the final dungeon.
Yeah, the pieces are starting to come together just very deliberately.
Brian Williams now showing just how much that early Hortmore can pay off, as he's built himself a considerable experience lead. 4-6-3-1, first to level 14, maintaining that level lead. And really, you know, that some of our runners have information that he doesn't have yet. Blue Lobster and Asmati with that token. But right now, pretty much every advantage imaginable sitting on the side of Brian Williams. Just needs to find Caitlin and Charlock, and then has to decide where he wants to grind, because that HP's still a little bit lacking.
Just a smidge, and, well, JJ picking up some fights along the way here, because he knows that there's definitely a grind that's needed, but it is a risky venture, especially when you have all that gold sitting in your pouch, wallet, fanny pack, I don't know.
Coin purse.
Coin purse. It's going to be one of the biggest coin purses I've ever seen. Practically Uncle Scrooge's money bin you'd have to drag around with you.
Yeah, at least you can go for a swim, right?
On a hot day like today, I wouldn't mind it. But JJ does make it. And there's all the goodies. Flame Sword, that'll increase the attack by 28. Silver Shield, that'll increase the defense 10 more over the large shield. So JJ, with the exception of Erdrick's Sword, is as equipped as can be.
Honestly, this could be huge, because at this point, Brian Williams holding on to that large shield, very unlikely that he tries to do a gold grind at this point in the seed. Blue Lobster and Asmati Games are quite a ways away, don't even have keys yet to try to do a gold grind. And so if Erdrick's Sword is in Charlock, that flame sword could be a huge advantage, and of course that silver shield is going to be an advantage in any case.
Yes, to answer the question in chat, Rimmildar was the only way to get keys, as so far we have seen 2 chests apart from the starting magic key chest. One was deep in Garen's grave, which is key blocked, and the other was in the chest in Rimmildar, which is also key blocked. So Brian Williams with a notable experience lead here. That's right, it's not found Erdrick's token because neither of them have gotten to Garenham yet.
Yeah, I'm curious if Brian Williams is still looking for Swamp North. We know it's fairly close to Snark. No, he's been through there, so that's interesting. He's gotten himself the GPS, but hasn't been to the other side to see Garenham. That's the only way I can imagine he'd find himself in this position.
Well, or might be looking for Cantlin to be able to utilize said GPS.
Indeed. Yeah, that would make more sense.
It's an understandable thought. All right, I've gone into this cave to rescue the princess. Cantlin's got to be around here somewhere so I can get the coordinates, and I mean, for all Brian Williams knows, I mean, he might think that the Erdrick's token is in the coordinate spot, which is probably why he's got an all-point bulletin search looking for Cantlin. Or at least he did, but now is going to head to the other end of the swamp cave, it looks like.
Blue Lops has now found himself the town of Rimmildar. Will be able to get those keys for himself and should be able to unlock a lot of information with them.
It has to be an unsettling feeling, though, knowing that you're 75, 76 minutes in and you're just finding keys in a race scenario.
Yeah, never a great feeling, but still better to have them than not. Will be obviously required at some point. Did Brian Williams check the back 3 chests before going in and out?
I don't believe so. I think his concern was with refilling on herbs and staying at the inn and figuring, well, I've got keys. I'll just use one to go back in.
That muscle memory taking him to the weapon shop and then realizing there's nothing I can buy that's of use to me. He's already got pretty nice sword and shield there, and yep, not going to be able to upgrade. Only thing he might be looking for is full plate armor, but he has the best armor in the game, so we're not going to be taking that just yet.
And there's the token for Brian Williams. So that is pretty well the catbird seat here. Brian is in and out of Breckenary like a fast food restaurant.
Now just needs to find Cantlin and those coordinates. We don't know if they're required or not, but it would be quite the ballsy play to go ahead and dive Sharlock, not knowing for sure whether the sword's there. So we'll likely be trying to find Cantlin in short order. Though if he does find Sharlock first, I mean, he will have that rainbow drop as soon as he heads back. We know that the Jerk is right there next to Tangential Castle. So if the opportunity presents itself, we could see an early dive, but no, I do believe that's Cantlin right there.
It is.
Taking a quick peek at the stats there as Brian Williams realizes he never bought himself a dragon scale, or, oh, he did and now he's choosing to sell. Maybe he's getting wings?
I think just freeing up some inventory, maybe potentially... yeah, he's going to pick up a fairy water or two here. And then also going to get some coordinates. Oh my goodness, 7 south, 16 east.
Now, to be fair, that is going to require them to make that loop all the way around. I don't believe you get 7 south from where they were before. So, not the most difficult count in the world, but not a trivial one either.
Yeah, they'll have to just go around and count across the river. And now Asmati finding Rimuldar, and this definitely feels like one of those seeds where Rimuldar kind of controls all. And
Yeah,
yep, on the way, picking up the drop. Very smart. So the Rainbow Drop, the access to Charlotte Castle has been obtained by Brian Williams, and I would imagine he's going to get slept here by this Star Wyvern, annoyingly. Lobster picking up the Stones of Sunlight and Coal. Ryu X, you're certainly not wrong. The yeah, at least this particular seed, because there's no other access to keys, yes, it is basically vanilla in that respect.
Level 15 was 0078. Someone get Empty Eye on the phone. He would be loving this.
How would he do that? 0 power, 0 agility. I love it. Oh, couple over to the left here, and there is the sword.
Alrighty, big sigh of relief there on the Brian Williams side, I have to imagine, as he knew that his options were either sword or death necklace. And that sword is going to be extremely handy as he's in grind and go now. Does need to find Charlotte, but otherwise, yes, pretty much ready. And with the experience advantage and the item advantage, it is pretty much, at least as far as we're concerned with the runners on our screen, his race to lose.
True, Angel FM isn't running this one, otherwise he probably would have already been finished, he says slightly sarcastically. But there are a lot of other fantastic runners as well. I mean, you have Nest Cardinality in this. You have DK9146, the defending 2020 Summer Tournament champion. Diabetes II is no slouch. Jay Coper is a savvy veteran of the game. So, I mean, there's a lot of competition. I'm glad I'm here in the booth instead.
Absolutely a lot of competition here in this 13-player race. The winner could pick themselves up a lot of those ever-important SRL points, which we do use for seeding in our upcoming summer tournaments.
So Brian sees Charlotte, but can't quite get there. Now, this might also be a little bit of a grind area here as Brian is going along. As, well, level 15, that was 7,500. Now 9,750, the target number to level 16. And JJ looks to be approaching Cantlin. You can see it in the upper right corner of his screen. Just has to dispatch of this armored knight and whatever enemies the game is going to throw in his way ahead of it. Thankfully, none for JJ Schmidt, and well, he's got the princess in hand, and there may be a little bit of a chuckle when he sees the coordinates. I'm not sure how close to Sherlock there is a town, but Brian looks to be doubling back to the Garenham-Breckenary area. Lobster picks up the Staff of Rain, and JJ realizes, this isn't going to quite work out so well. And he, I think, is going to reluctantly drop the princess off and get the GPS. And yes, it looks like, as with a lot of the seeds recently, as Asmati picks up the Erdrick's armor, that the limiting factor looks to be the hit points. And yeah, there's some red dragons there. There's, okay, this is looking like a pretty good spot here, apparently. Yeah, no traditional Alfgard honeymoon. I mean, that is a flag set that is an option in Dragon Warrior Randomizer. It is what is known as Three's Company, where you rescue the princess and take her to the Dragon Lord and accept the offer to share half the world. But that is not a flag set that is part of this particular competition. But it is an option on the randomizer. And now Asmati Games picks up the rainbow drop as well.
A lot of things coming together for other featured runners here as Brian Williams does all of his homework. About a 1,500 experience gap between him and JJ Schmitz, and about a 3,000 experience gap between him and Asmati Games. But now, as they start putting things together, they'll be able to focus their efforts on just making up that gap. Of course, it would take, at this point, a few failed dives, at least one failed dive for Brian Williams, in order for them to really have a shot here at taking the win away from him, and time will only tell. So we'll take out this red dragon here, get real close but not quite to 16, just about any other monster will do it after that.
Oh yeah, just 12 away, anything a Magidrake and more, but the Stone Man certainly will do it. As Madi says no to the red dragon, understandably so. And we had 4, 5, 28, and 8. There's the HP, and I think Brian is go, go, go at this point.
Now that does leave him with 80 agility, a little bit less than you might want. Usually you want to see somewhere closer to 90 to have a coin flip chance of running away from AK-47s and Fun Police or Red Dragons, but he does have, I can't remember exactly what his attack power total is here, but he should have quite a few heal mores to spare. But the dive starts now as he sees that Red Dragon on the grass tiles.
I thought for a minute we were going to have dueling, or I guess high-fiving at the Breckenary Inn, but Brian Williams going to load up on Fairy Waters.
Yeah, chat letting me know that his attack power is 129. Has not found the ring yet, so could stop in that Sharlock Treasury. As that extra 2 attack power could make a big difference here, and those Fairy Waters also could make a big difference here. I don't think we've seen it yet this seed, but you can throw those Fairy Waters for 9 to 16 damage. They are guaranteed to hit the Dragon Lord, and if your attack power is below about 135, you want to lead off with those Fairy Waters, as they're going to have a slightly better damage range than your regular attack.
So we have Blue Lobster doing the gold grind, and JJ, I guess, working towards the coordinates here. We've got Brian Williams dropping the rainbow drop. And yes, the fighter's ring is definitely in Cantlin in one of the 7 chests that are in here. Whether it's in the vanilla Erdrick sword spot, or whether it's in one of the 6 chests in the bottom basement. A little fun thing that we in the community refer to as the pyramid game, because a few of us are game show fanatics and appreciate the old $25,000 or $100,000 pyramid from the 80s.
So 92 minutes in, and Brian Williams is the first of our featured runners to get into Sharlock. And looking at IRC here, no one has finished yet. Again, a star-studded 13 runners here in this race. Lots of SRO points potentially up for grabs. And a potential shot here at first place for Brian Williams 42 if he can make this dive work.
And apparently, in having a bit of a crossing and reading of the lines, I'd said that the ring was in Cantlin. No, it's going to be in Sharlock in one of those 7 chests as mentioned.
Also choosing to dive Sharlock in the dark, does have the extra MP for 1 cast of Radiant, but choosing to hold on to it for sleep in case a Stone Man is on that spike tile right before the Dragon Lord. Again, we also do have that Fairy Flute in our back pocket.
Well, a masterful dive in the dark of Sharlock is going to forego the treasury and just go right here for game.
Yeah, the 2 attack power can help, but with the Fairy Water in the back pocket and the extra heal mores he's got, really only needs... I want to say he's got about 3 more than he needs, is just going to go ahead and gamble. And I haven't seen what his defense is, but with a large shield and 80 agility, it can't be that high. So I'm going to have to be careful with those swings. I want to say he could be hit for 49 or 50.
Brian just going toe-to-toe here with this golem and is going to heal after the fact, but is going to take the safety heal more here. Some unfortunate rolls. 24 to 49 the attack range on the golem, and running into some more enemies along the way. And here we go.
Ends up usage of that heal before going into the fight. Does have 15 heal mores in his back pocket and is potentially going to need every single one of them here. Wants to see as many stop spells as possible.
There's the stop spell and is just going to go for it here. Going with 98. And let's see, 150 to 165 is
oh,
the range
no!
of back attack.
So that's going to mess up the opening double here. Really needs to get good rolls. Maximum roll of 16 on that first Fairy Water. He really needed that.
And a 13, so we're at 29 to start. Now 42, so these have been higher than average rolls. And of course, as I say that, there's a minimum roll of 9. 51 overall.
Still slightly above the average out of these Fairy Waters. Last one here, I do believe 13. So getting his
Correct.
money's worth there, and now it's just on how well he can do with that sword.
So 64, and let's see, another 11, that is 75. Again, the Dragon Lord has anywhere from 150 to 165. So there's an 8, that is 83.
You have an outside chance for double attacks if we can get 2 low physical damage rolls. But nothing doing just yet. Just going to have to rely on the attack heal more strategy.
Well, he's at 93, now 104 after that attack of 11. Now up to 111, does get a double here, up to 120. Ooh, 126.
Yeah, an unfortunate minimum roll there is swinging for 6 to 13, 11 on the higher end of that range.
Now up to 137. 144 should be able to pull this out here, I believe. $155. Next attack should do it. Going to take a safety heal more.
Just want to make sure that you don't miscount.
And there it is, 167. Brian Williams has taken out the Dragon Lord. And let's just see, is there going to be a snipe here? Just has to get the accolades from the princess and from the king rather, take the princess with him and there it is. Get out your GGs. Brian Williams 42 has taken first place on stream and overall with a finishing official SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 27 seconds. Well, up to NG reporting in chat that watching someone else's stream, not of our featured runners here, but apparently the fighter's ring is in that proverbial judges table, the vanilla Erdrick stored location.
Alrighty, with that ding, I do believe we have our overall winner and on-stream winner, Brian Williams 42, joining us here in the commentary booth. Brian Williams, congratulations on an amazingly played race. How you feeling?
Yeah, that was a really rough start, and I have never sat in the beginning grinding for that long. I think not a long time at least.
Yeah, I want to say it was about 50 minutes before anyone found a town. I can't remember exactly. It really seemed to come fast and furious there. I want to say it was around 50 or 55 minutes before anyone found a town, and then by about 1:10, we basically found everything, at least in a combination of all of our streams here.
Yeah, I think I got pretty lucky finding keys before all the other towns, so that it was just very smooth after that.
Yeah, from what I recall, I want to say it was you and JJ who found keys, and JJ actually did end up doing a gold grind later. I'm curious if that had ever entered your mind at all, or if you had pretty much written it off, given the length of time it took to find all the things.
Yeah, I felt like I might be really far behind if there was something that I didn't see at the start, and I decided with Repel and Hurt More, there wasn't too much that was scary, so I was just going to go for it and see what happened without a shield.
Well, we do see that off-stream Guelph 35 has taken second place overall, 1:42.45 the finishing time, about 3 minutes and 18 seconds behind Brian Williams.
Yeah, Brian, I do want to ask, because we did see a mixture of strategies here at the start. Obviously, everyone was doing a bit of grinding. Osmati was one of the first to really go out on the map, and then I want to say around 7 or 8, like level 7 or 8. I specifically seem to remember you, Brian, you were kind of going out from Tantagel, taking a couple of fights, trying to move out on the map. It seemed like you were splitting the difference. You want to talk me through that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think the basic strategy was, if I had full health, take the fights I know I can win, and once I start getting down to about 20 HP, where I might not beat a wolf or a metal scorpion that I want to be fighting, then just explore till I die and see what happens. So it's kind of, yeah, splitting the difference between the two, because I wanted to keep making some progress in case there was nothing out there.
Alrighty, we do have JJ Schmidt here about to take on the Dragon Lord himself. Does have 16 heal bars in his back pocket going into this race, or going into this fight. I'm not sure how many fairy waters he has, but that remains to be seen. However, Ferran, are you taking a look at these notes here?
Well, I was actually having more canine issues here as I recently found out that my dog has lost her sight, so that does create a bit of issues.
Very unfortunate news. Unfortunately, though, Brian Williams, I am going to ask if you have any final thoughts on the seed. As unfortunately, we are running up against a scheduled Super Metroid race, and so we are being asked to wrap up quickly. So, Brian Williams, I'm just going to say congratulations once again on the win. Any last thoughts on that seed?
No, but thanks for being patient till it picked up, and thanks for all the help with the staff and commentary and everything.
Alrighty, well, so unfortunately we are going to need to move on, so I will go ahead and wrap things up. Please go ahead and drop a follow on all the runners here who've put an amazing show on for you tonight. Osmati Games, JJ Schmidt, Brian Williams 42, and Blue Lobster helping out here. Of course, myself, Lavkin, joined a commentary by Ferran Burgundy. Tracking, of course, provided by Cami and Renikai, and thanks as always once again to the SpeedGaming Networks for putting all this together. Diesel Pilot here running the restream. So please go ahead, if you have not joined our Discord, click that link and you will find a welcoming community to get you in on the action. But until next time, it looks like we are going to take you to the Super Metroid race getting started shortly. And until then, have a nice night and stay cool, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time.